Gonna try and get in one last video of the garden before the end of the season. So everything's looking pretty ugly and dead, but we're getting a lot of squash right now. I think almost some peppers, still some tomatoes, and we just had the sunflowers, which were a nice surprise. Oh look, there's all the geese flying south, and it's definitely fall. Oh, and so over here I started some lettuce. You could see them growing in between those. Those were carrots that were left over from the spring. Now that I removed everything else, they're growing really well. The rogue tomatillo plant. There were geese. They're going south for the winter. And these are, I think they're red leaf lettuce. So, well, I hate to jinx it. Nobody's found these yet, but hopefully they'll last. And these are romaine. And over there's still some dill, marigolds. Over here, this is another kind of lettuce. So the lettuce looks like it's doing real well. Hopefully it'll make it before the frost. Later. And over here is the jerk chipmunk that ate all my beets, or presumably one of them. So it took me about 5 minutes to trap him, putting the trap where the beets were previously. And then over here, this was supposed to be his garden, but never really got off the ground. I have one dying cucumber plant, but it's still looks like it's still trying to grow a few little cucumbers. One here, one up there. I might still get 2 more cucumbers. I've already got like 4 or 5 in the house. And that is a cabbage. Not sure if it's going to actually make a cabbage before the end of the year or not. There's some strawberries here that are flowering again, but I haven't seen any actual strawberries. And then just some marigolds and herbs. Over here, this is all that's left of the lemon squash. It looks pretty done, but then up here, there's still some new growth. Still trying to make some squash. I really think it's about time to pull it, though. I don't think much more is going to come of that. And down here, I put in some black and purple radishes. So those are looking real good. And over there, those little tiny things are arugula. Over here is where I did have the beets. They're long gone. But over here, I'm going to have to build some more of these, some better ones next year. I have a couple of cabbage growing in there. They don't look anything like cabbage yet, but I'm still hopeful that something will happen with them. Oops, covered up the little arugulas. This was a pumpkin plant. I got 2 pumpkins off of it, which is more than I had expected to get. So I'm excited about that. I'll show those later. And these are what's left of my Prudence purple tomatoes. These are my favorite tomatoes, but this year, it's getting so cold. I'll probably just end up pulling the rest of these tonight, bringing them in the house to ripen, because somebody has been helping themselves. It's not like they can just eat one. I have to take a bite out of every single one. This one over here looks pretty big. Yeah, I've had some decent sized ones this year. And then I grew 3 butternut squash plants. I only got 3 actual squash, and this is the 3rd one that's still growing, so hopefully that will get a little bit bigger before I have to pull it. And all on this trellis are delicata squash, which we've been getting plenty of those. These have been great this year. So I've already picked maybe 6 or 7 of them. There's probably like 10 more on the plants at least. So we're going to be eating that a lot. And it's a good thing because Meme likes them. And also on this trellis are black-eyed peas, which I've been getting a lot of those too. Uh-oh, there's Daddy. Lights on. Okay. And over here, I'm kind of excited about these. I sort of forgot I planted them. But these beans over here are the 1,500-year-old cave beans. There were some seeds discovered in an archaeological dig. So hopefully they will ripen up and we'll be able to taste those before the end of the year. Over here are my pepper plants. I have these fish peppers. These are cool little stripy ones, but they turn red when they're ripe. And it's been so cold the last few weeks, they've all just been hanging here, and now you can see they're all starting to turn pink. And that one back there is getting red. So hopefully we'll get a good harvest of those. And over here are 2 lemon drop pepper plants. And these are spicy little yellow things. They're a little bit citrusy, and there's a couple ripe ones on here, but these 2 have been struggling to get ripe with the cold weather we've been having. Thinking about digging them up and bringing them in the house, but I don't know how that would go over. This is a tomato plant, kind of out of control. Some sunflowers a bit past their prime. And over here, oh, almost forgot about these. These are my hatched chilies, and I didn't really think they were going to do anything, but you can see there's actually a couple of them on here. Whoops, where'd it go? There. So I might yet get a handful of those. They're still really small, but if we don't get a frost in the next few weeks, maybe I'll get a handful of them. And yeah, there's several plants here, so if they get big enough, then I should get a good batch of them. Over here are purple Russian tomatoes. Should be getting a lot of these in the next couple of days. And these are specifically bred for cold climates, you know, Russia. So hopefully these will hang on a little bit longer than maybe some of the other tomatoes will. And they don't seem to be getting bothered as much by the animals over here. Maybe I just haven't found them yet, but here's a black-eyed pea pod that's ready to harvest. And then these tomatoes are pink borers. And I liked them, they were good, but they seemed really prone to pest damage, and the plant likes to drop them. So there's, uh-oh, don't do that, Baba. Well, that's a tomato, honey. But that's the green ones. The green ones aren't ready yet. You can just put it back in the garden. That's one that we won't be getting. And yeah, over here's more tomatoes and one other little squash. Yeah, so it looks like a big mess. But I think it was an okay year. I just wish the season had been a little bit longer. Next year, I think I'm definitely going to grow these purple Russians again. They're growing great. They started out tiny, but they seem to be, I mean, they can hold up to cold. That's definitely a plus. I don't know if I'll bother with these pink borers. They were fun to grow and they're kind of cool looking, but they don't seem to hold up to the cracking. And that happens all the time here. And I'll probably grow my Prudence purples again. I really like these lemon drop peppers, so I'll probably grow those. Black-eyed peas did great. If I have enough room, I'll grow them. And of course, I love my Prudence purple tomatoes. They're my favorites. Looks like he managed to open the gate over here. So yeah, this is what was left of everything else. Just some more beans. I really like these dragon's tongue beans. So I'll probably grow a lot more of those last year. This one is on its way to drying, so I can collect the seeds. Here's some. Yeah, these were actually really delicious. Sauteed up with rice, oyster sauce, a little hot peppers. There's some more I could take in tonight. And then over that's where the pumpkin was, but it's long gone now. I don't know if I'll waste time with corn again next year. It was fun, but it took up a lot of space. And, you know, we had like 10 ears of corn all at once, and I didn't know what to do with it. So. And green beans, I grow those because Patrick loves those. But yeah, that's all that's left. Looking forward to next year. Hopefully it'll be even better. What you doing, Baba?